Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, Legit Boston, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell if you always want to know when we're going in live. See, if we're going live, you might catch an awesome botch. See, the people who are watching this on demand don't get to see that, Larson.
No,
they don't.
Only live.
Anyways.
You get to see how this whole endeavor is duct taped together.
You know what, man? It's been a little while since that's happened, though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. It's been a little while. We reconfigured things a little bit using Streamlabs and then like a different codec. And things have been working out just fine.
For the most part.
I don't know what we were messing around with on Monday. All that stuff
was probably because we had to stream gaming stuff from your laptop for a little bit. Maybe it had something to do with it.
That could be. Who knows? Anyways.
I don't know.
So, it's Friday. Of course,
Hooray.
Tomorrow is TakeOver.
Oh, yeah.
We will be live streaming our reactions.
That's right. And Sunday, too, for SummerSlam.
And then, of course, on Sunday as well. Yeah, it's going to be a long weekend, but it should be a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys will join us. We're going to be doing it right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. So again, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notify bell, man. It always gets you, it always clues you in, usually anyways, as to when we're going to go live.
Ideally, that's the situation. Who knows if it is in practice.
Monday morning, I'm going to be releasing the VOD version of W Steve W, The Final Blooding.
There you go.
It's the very last episode for now of W Steve W. Here's the thing. It's not going to go up on our channel. I'm going to put it up for free on Patreon. I am going to release like a short video on our channel to say, hey, go there. The main reason why.
Well, if you want it uncensored, you got to watch it on the Patreon is what you're saying.
All the good uncensored content is going to be heading to the Patreon because we're kind of on lockdown here on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is in in the Final Blooding, there's some nudity.
Maybe.
There's some
Well,
nudity.
it's not full.
Well, it's close enough.
You don't see, there's no nipples.
Well, yeah, but it's like, there's stickers on boobies.
Yeah, but you don't see nipples. There's no nipples.
Right, there's no nipples.
No nipples.
So anyways.
Joe Juarez has an interesting question. How long is SummerSlam going to be? Probably about 7 hours.
I think it's supposed to be like 7 hours. Yeah. Have they announced any more matches for it?
No, not that I'm aware of. Joshua Martinez, the question. You're working from home, 420 in GIR. It's lit.
Adam Darwin says, when are we getting the digital care package? That went up for $5 net patrons a couple days ago. There was a link for it. So yeah, that's available. I think there was a link that says like welcome or something.
Gotcha.
And there's like a video that plays for new patrons.
Right, we did a video there.
And there's a link there for it. So it's on the Patreon right now.
Maybe he said Adam, I believe, has been a patron for a while. He says welcome. He's like, I can ignore that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I should have made it like a separate thing. But yeah, if you go and look at like it was I think Monday or something.
Here, I'll find it.
It was at some point.
I'll try to find it.
There you go.
I'll find it.
Larson will find it now. And as he does that, let's talk about really quick. NXT is going live.
Well, maybe.
Everything seems to be like this was the most definitive we've heard. This is from Wrestling Observer newsletter. Dave Meltzer himself says, while not announced, the NXT on Fox Sports 1 is tentatively set for 8 to 10 p.m. on Wednesday nights. For obvious reasons, that was the time slot expected, but this was the first info we were given listing a time slot. Of course, it wasn't going to be finalized until TNT announced their time slot for AEW, of course.
Yeah.
Not sure when this starts or how Big East basketball and FS1 affects this, or what this means for NXT on WWE Network, or what the start date will be. It's not official until the announcement is made, but this has been expected, and as noted a few weeks ago, it's far enough along that Fox told some affiliates already. The working idea is for a live 2-hour show with the feeling that a taped show will not work to head off AEW, where WWE feels they have the edge is they have an endless supply of main roster talent they can shuffle in whenever they want them. Whether this goes from Full Sail, which may get tough with shows weekly to keep crowd enthusiasm up in the same venue, Although they'll be using more main roster guys and the Full Sail crowd pops big for those every time out, or they tape it and tour with it is unknown, but we were told this was largely agreed to in late June or early July.
Goodness.
So it looks like WWE might be
hold on
pulling out all the stuff.
Hold on a second.
To a degree.
Meltzer kind of mentions Big East basketball here in passing, but Voices of
Big
Wrestling.
E basketball?
Big East.
Big East basketball.
Voices of Wrestling had a good Twitter thread about that deal. I'll paraphrase. So the Big East Conference, I think they just brought that back. It kind of went away for a while. And that was the home of Syracuse, Georgetown in like the 80s and 90s. Basketball powerhouses.
Names like Patrick Ewing.
Yes. Derek Coleman.
There you go.
Sherman Douglas.
All I knew was
Alonzo
Patrick
Mourning. Billy Owens.
For some reason, I don't know. I
used to watch a lot of college basketball in the late 80s and early 90s.
I don't know why I know Patrick Ewing came out of Georgetown, but I do.
Well, that's pretty well known.
Continue, please.
Anyway, sorry. So I think Big East is back. UConn used to be the Big East too, and up they are now. So Fox's deal to air Big East basketball, and it could be a potential sticking point. Fox apparently is contractually obligated, I think, to air every game. And I don't know exactly where Voices of Wrestling got this, but in theory, that can mean airing 4 games on Wednesday nights, even just select Wednesday nights on Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2 from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's a pretty huge money deal worth at least $500 million over 12 years.
Wow.
However, Voices of Wrestling notes that no schedule for the upcoming Big East Conference season has been announced yet. They did say that CBS had bought some games. CBS generally, if it's going to be airing on CBS, doesn't air college basketball till the weekends. I don't know if CBS All Access has any plans to air sports, or if they have their own sports network a la Fox and NBC. And while I guess you couldn't necessarily say this is a deal breaker, it definitely complicates matters quite a bit if if NXT is looking to air on Fox Sports 1 in that 8 to 10 slot.
Yeah, no kidding. Triple H also spoke about a potential move of NXT to Fox Sports 1 during his traditional pre-takeover conference call that happened yesterday. He said this: "There's always a changing landscape." I'll do the first couple sentences. Triple H: "There's always a changing landscape. The eternal discussion in WWE is of where content goes is a constant. We look at this wheel of options of distribution that we have across all platforms, whether that be television or Facebook or our digital presence or the network. Where do you put content at all time is up for debate. How much content, what content, we're constantly working on it and evaluating it. When it comes to NXT, there's a lot of exciting thoughts and ideas out there, but we're constantly debating on where things go and land. When it comes to NXT growing as a brand, there's a lot of options on the table. Contrary to what I've heard, because you hear people speculate, and I've seen the conversations around Fox Sports 1 or whatever it is with NXT and all that stuff, and then immediately people come in with counter-programming talk. We have content all over the place. And if people want to talk about counter-programming and bring that up in the conversation, like Wednesday has been the home of NXT forever, right? That's where it's at. It's been on our network on a Wednesday time slot now forever. And when other people announce their show on Wednesday, you don't hear us talk about counter-programming. You just hear the announcement. For us, everything is counter-programming, and it's this and it's that. We plan things long in advance. We worry about doing our business, and that's really what we worry about.
Well, NXT plans stuff in advance. Anyway, sorry.
Creatively, they do, but they would not have done this if not for AEW.
Not probably.
That's a hey, let's do this to counter this. It totally is counter-programming. So I've been giving cryptic talk because there's a lot of thoughts and possibilities, and that's the great thing about it, is that we can do just about anything. It is about what is best for WWE and this business, and how does it affect the fans in the way that is the most meaningful to them.
Did you mention a transcript of that from Fightful and Wrestling Inc.? Two separate things.
Thank you.
And then Scott Hall, speaking to Wrestling Inc. about this burgeoning AEW NXT Wednesday night war, and said the following, quote, "I think AEW is basically competing with NXT. NXT is booming and global.
So many of your voices are just Fun Hoss.
Yeah, Fun Hoss is more like this. NXT is booming and global, and now that TV wants wrestling, that's kind of debatable. Every network is a copycat network. people want more wrestling on TV, so it won't be long until NXT has a show, I predict. It's a TV show, not just a network.
TV. Yeah.
And you heard it here first. If you believe in your product, then you put it right up against the guy. I'm coming in next door, and we're going to compete for the money. It makes everything sharper and better.
If you believe in your product, then you put it right up next to the guy. I'm coming in right next door, and we're going to compete for the money. Makes everything sharper and better.
Hey, yo, survey says
another one for
WWE.
So yeah, live. I see. Okay, so here's the funny thing for me. So NXT is like my favorite wrestling product right now. I think it's the perfectly packaged 1 hour slice of TV right now, of wrestling right now. The thing about NXT though is that I've been so conditioned to think of it as I don't have to watch it in the immediate. Like,
yeah. I don't ever watch it live.
The only reason I ever do watch it live is because my parents take Alabama on Wednesdays, because I know it's my heavy wrestling watching day. But so, like, I'll come home and around 5 o'clock, it'll be like, okay, I've got the house to myself. At least you don't get home till 6.
Yeah.
So I might as well just watch it because it's on.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I really watch it live. But it's definitely not a necessity for me to watch it live.
No, I don't ever watch it live.
So I don't know if they make a grander deal about it and they really suck you in with the storytelling that it has to be watched live, then I could see how it could be competitive. But I think people in general might have been so conditioned to think of it as watch when you want to watch it, that I think that's one knock against it actually being able to counter
I think people
AEW.
Appreciate how different it is from main roster television, that deal with commercial breaks. The pacing is pretty consistent week to week. Remember that one time, and granted,
it's perfect the way it is.
Sample size is small. They had an episode of NXT on USA.
Yeah, that's right.
It was 44.5 minutes as opposed to generally 50 to 60. Commercial breaks breaking up the pace of the show. It just didn't feel like NXT. It felt different. It felt more tailored towards main roster product than what NXT is used to. And then you got to talk about, well, are they going to start touring with it?
Yeah.
For TV, are they going to shoot it all full sale?
Yeah.
How are they going to do it? Then there's the economics of it. I don't know how much this is still the case now. There have been times when a lot of major stars in NXT didn't live in Orlando. They flew in for TV tapings, did the tapings, went back home. Like Bob Roode, I know that was the case. Maybe Samoa Joe, I'm not sure.
Well, that stuff, I mean, the logistics, everybody in NXT that is above a certain level is definitely going to get a pay raise. That's all. I mean, that's WWE's business. They have all the money in the world. They can do that. I think the bigger question for me is just as fans of the product. Now, Ricky Scurvy here in chat brings up a good point. There is the issue, and I know it's never really, it doesn't bug me. I know you seem to think that it's not a deal at all. But for me, I do think there is the added element of when things happen, and I'm sitting here during tapings on Twitter getting everything spoiled for me, which I generally do these days because I'm just sort of curious, and that's just sort of how I've learned to ingest NXT.
Yeah.
But the idea, the idea of how good their creative is, and then added to that the surprise element of being live, if they're able to capitalize on that added advantage, then it could very well be, oh my God, must see, I have to watch this live.
This could be a minor thing, assuming they shoot everything from Full Sail still. A lot of the reasons the matches are so good, obviously TakeOver, but also week to week, is they get an opportunity to work them out.
Sure. Yeah.
And if there's travel involved, traveling around the country, especially, they're going to start touring on a more regular basis than what they are. They're not going to have the opportunities to work out matches in advance like they can now.
I wonder how much. That's a really good point. I wonder how much the actual wrestling, which is a big draw for NXT, I wonder how much the actual wrestling would change, because right now we figure that one of the reasons why, I harp on this all the time because it's funny that I went to the Performance Center and you didn't. But I still regret that. I know we had to stay back and do that.
Couldn't,
but man,
not make content.
I wish I regret that. But to go in there and see like 3 different rings, 3 different coaches going through matches with 3 different sets of opponents, it really hammered home, man, these guys really work on their craft to present the best wrestling there is.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I don't know.
RTGTZ brings up a question here. With NXT to 2 hours, can you see them bringing in 205 live and the Cruiserweight title in the NXT banner? That's a possibility, and I think that'd be pretty cool.
That's actually good. Here's the thing about 205, too. They're on a touring schedule.
Yeah.
And those guys put together consistently some of the best matches in WWE on a week-to-week basis.
Entirely possible.
So obviously it can be done. Adding an entire another hour also does complicate things in terms of giving us the most quality every single week. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Like right now, we have an idea as to how we're going to handle programming on our channel. AEW is going to be the thing that we do on Thursday.
Yeah, although if NXT is going to start going live head-to-head, that's going to change things a bit.
I'm not sure. Well, yeah.
We're going to have to do a combined AEW NXT recap.
Or just like 2 episodes back-to-back.
Entirely possible.
Because some people might not want like everything jammed into one. We'll do like what Zane does with
Who Wore It Better, yeah.
But we'll just do it weekly
separate.
AEW.
And we'll tell who's winning in the ratings by which video gets more views.
Yeah.
Then we know who's really winning.
Then we know really winning. Yeah.
Really winning.
Exactly. Anyways, let me go back to my notes here.
Yes, please.
I think we got some business, Larson.
do.
Oh, I love this business. Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Manscaped. Now, there's something very important all the men out there who listen to Going in Raw need to keep in mind, and that's the health and well-being of your ball skin when it comes to pruning that dense thicket of bush that's in bloom down in the man zone,
And
Larson.
trust me when I tell you that any grooming mishap that leads to a bit of sack flesh getting taken off with sack hair when trying to keep that mess in check is absolutely, positively no fun.
But right here we're going to tell you now that you can leave all those worries behind and say goodbye to the nicks and cuts on your ball skin thanks to Manscaped.
You got that right, friendo. Manscaped has completely redesigned the electric trimmer with their Lawnmower 2.0, which has proprietary technology that keeps your front area safe from cuts and snags.
Ugh, you know what else they got?
What?
Crop Preserver, an
yeah.
anti-chafing deodorant and moisturizer that goes right on your junk. We all put deodorant on our underarms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I learned to this morning.
Yeah. So why not keep another smelly part of your body, your nether region, smelling clean and fresh?
Yeah, and right now, friendos can get 20% off and free shipping and a free travel bag by going to manscaped.com and using promo code GIR. Use the right tools to keep your ball skin safe. Trust me, your balls, will thank you.
You'll wake up in the morning, put some of that on, and they'll be like, thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Larson.
No. You know who else is going to thank you, Larson?
Ooh.
Your lover, when he or she goes down to your hog zone and sees and smells that it's clean as a dream. No one likes messy junk. Again, get 20% off, free shipping, and a free travel bag by going to manscaped.com and using promo code GIR. Thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring today's show, and you're really helping out Going in Raw and your ball skin by going to manscaped.com and using promo code GIR.
Correct.
Yeah.
Next, let's talk about WB trying to buy out and indie wrestling and put everybody else out of business. Though this doesn't seem like it's going to come to fruition, the prospect of it could send massive shockwaves throughout the industry. So anyways, in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer said the following, quote, WWE had recent interest in purchasing FITE TV to the point there are meetings upcoming regarding it. What that would mean isn't clear. Could they just own it thinking it's a good future business and have it run separately, or incorporate it into a higher tier network? One thing for sure, it would make indies that work with FITE TV in jeopardy in some form, and the key is it would for sure shut down AEW's leading streaming partner. That said, AEW can get a new streaming partner within the Turner family and may end up that way anyway, and WB talks to a lot of people, and that doesn't mean a deal is getting done. FITE TV themselves took to Twitter to deny this report, saying, quote, these rumors are not true. We are not in merger and acquisition discussions with WWE. We constantly appreciate all your support and passionate comments. While Meltzer, I think, is correct as far as AEW finding a different streaming platform. They're already on Bleacher Report Live.
That seems like it'd be the case.
There are a lot of other promotions who do streaming through FITE TV.
Sure,
Ring of Honor does that. I know they have Honor Club, I think, still. FITE TV is still one of the platforms they use to stream stuff. I heard coming up that the last 3 shows of the G1 are going to be available via pay-per-view on FITE TV.
Interesting.
And there's a lot of smaller promotions that stream stuff on Fight TV.
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. There's a plethora of free local territory wrestling. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and Arizona, I believe.
Yeah.
Is there? I think Booker T's Reality of Wrestling was on there for a spell. I haven't checked it in a little while, but there's all sorts of awesome promotions over on Fight TV. And yeah, I think that I don't know. I mean, if it's just a matter of, WWE has their own streaming service.
Yes.
If they see that Fight TV is a profitable business, maybe they would think to themselves, well, Ring of Honor obviously is no competition. Who cares about that? Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Yeah, you can stay. Booker T, of course, he's a friend of the family.
Yeah,
he can stay. AEW, no, you're gone. You're
Probably
done.
New Japan, too.
Probably New Japan. Maybe. I don't know. Fight TV seems to think that this is not going to happen, though.
Well, they said they're not in any discussions. Of course, wasn't it years ago when it was, what was the other streaming service? Pre-Fight TV. It was like Body Slam. No, it wasn't Body Slam. What was it called?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Because now there's Powerbomb. They still stream stuff, yeah. And there's
Maybe?
Fight TV, and there was another service.
Flow
Slam.
Flow Sports.
Flow
and
Sports.
Slam.
Yeah. And there was talks that WWE was trying to do something with that. And, of course, Flow Sports ended up going out of business.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Fight TV is in danger of that because they have all sorts of stuff.
Is GCW on Fight? Ricky
maybe.
Scurvy says that.
Oh, wow.
Man,
There you go, man.
that'd be cool. I want to check that out.
So that'd be hopefully what Fight TV says is the truth, and there's no active merger and acquisitions conversations ongoing, because it'd be a huge hit to independent wrestling to see Fight TV get brought in under the WWE umbrella, assuming, as we would think, that it would be a situation where WWE would use that purchase to take away a platform from AEW in New Japan. We don't know how whatever contracts are in place between Fight TV and all the independent promotions they work with, what those entail, and whether a WWE acquisition would endanger those deals. If it's a situation where WWE would want to be interested in buying it because they want to interested in buying the property and more or less just profit from it as is, or buy it to shutter it.
Because you got to figure, man. Like WWE's got all this money. It'd probably be wise to invest it in other areas as well, and just let look. If AEW is bringing in a ton of money to the Fight app, then why would you kick them off if you're buying that business? If you're just buying it for the investment, So I don't know. It might be much ado about nothing.
Entirely possible. And if what Fight TV is saying is correct, and there's no actual discussions, and whatever Meltzer's source told them is incorrect, then crisis averted. But if there's any truth to it, and we find out in 6 months that WWE has bought Fight TV, that could be a huge hit to indie wrestling.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, because it's one more. It could potentially be one more distribution outlet. It was kind of interesting too. Like Meltzer also had a write up about, and we're not really going to get into it here, but because we sort of alluded to it here and there. The indie wrestling in the Brit wrestling scene.
Yeah,
how the indie wrestling scene is sort of not doing great these days.
With Jim Smallman leaving Progress.
Yeah,
Defiant closed.
Defiant closed down
recently.
Yeah, that was the main article, was the Defiant closing thing, which is totally a bummer. He does make the counterpoint that like basically everybody and I don't know. You can look at this two different ways. It's like if the entire Brit wrestling scene isn't there. If you look at the wrestlers and if you're like, oh man, people aren't. It's like they're all in WWE getting paid right now.
Yeah.
And if there's more talent that comes up that become draws, then maybe the scene will rebuild itself. But wow, I totally just took the scenic route to nowhere. I lost my point on that one. So there you go.
Cool. Well, we can move on. This is interesting stuff. Next, from Lucha Blog, they put a thing up today, I think. Kind of making the case that maybe the AAA's upcoming scheduled U.S. shows in New York and Los Angeles may be in jeopardy.
This is a bummer. This is an absolute bummer.
Yeah. Of course, nothing official has been announced in terms of cancellations, but there's a pretty extensive list of things here that may seem to indicate that, if not canceled, maybe a bit in jeopardy. Steve, please.
So first off, AAA sold few tickets to the New York and Los Angeles show, so few that they've turned off the ability to see a seat map. So no, I didn't know this one. So no fan could see a visual representation of unsold tickets in one space. Apparently, Ring of Honor needs to do that. because they have seat maps available for some upcoming pay-per-views and TV tapings. And it's so bad.
I know, that's lousy.
One source told me, this is again from Lucha Blog, one source told me the Madison Square Garden show had sold much less than 1,000 tickets.
That's crazy.
As of mid-July, so about 3 weeks ago. No matches, of course, have been announced for either show. AAA had been posting canned tweets regularly and probably automatically to hype these shows. Those have stopped happening. Let's see here. AAA hasn't tweeted the word MSG, the phrase MSG, since June 26th. AAA hasn't used the hashtag Lucha Libre AAA ENNY, meaning English New York, tag since June 18th. Hashtag Lucha Libre AAA English LA tag since June 29th. They've continued to push, however, their Mexico shows as normal. They're not giving info on social media, ticket sales, just these shows. Neither the Spanish nor the English announce crew mentioned the AAA US shows on Triple Mania commentary. Hey, you know what, man?
That's a good point. I didn't notice that. I noticed that too.
Yeah, but so I heard that like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. If you're trying to sell these tickets, granted, I know that, I mean, maybe the hard decision has already been made.
Yes.
And maybe there's the point of no return. Maybe they're just moments away from announcing that they are, in fact, canceled. So
entirely
maybe
possible, yeah.
At Triple Mania, they understood this was done, right?
Could be.
But if it's not set in stone, wouldn't you start having them blast that out?
You would think so.
Like left and right. So it would seem that maybe this is set in stone.
Maybe
if you have tickets to, at this point, if you have tickets to Triple Mania show in Madison Square Garden and you live in, like, I don't know, Sacramento, maybe don't buy your plane ticket.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of this whole Lucha Blog thing. Is if you've already dropped money on tickets, which they have, don't drop any more for the time being.
Yeah. See, I thought the EN. So right here, James Rodriguez says N means in Spanish, so it's in New York or LA. But I just figured that because their Twitch channel was Lucha Libre AAA EN, that's the name of their English Twitch channel. I think they use the EN to indicate English in this case.
Yes, I think you're right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Let's see here. Also, continuing on, Fight TV were announced as carrying these shows on pay-per-view. They currently list no show airing on September 15th. AAA show was announced for September 16th outside Mexico City, the day after the scheduled show in New York. It's possible for everyone to make it back from New York to be on the show, but it would be a challenge.
Yes.
So, yeah. Oh, and then this last one from Lucha Blog. I've been waving the AAA's shows look concerning red flags. AAA is usually helpful in telling me when I'm way off base. So apparently Lucha Blog has some insiders there.
Yeah.
Who, when he says, hey, this is going to happen, or this has happened, or watch out for this,
and they can say yay or
AAA nay. Comes back at him through their channels and says, hey, you're totally not on here, or whatever.
Yes.
Well, no one's gotten back to him saying he's wrong.
Oof.
So, unfortunately, might not happen.
Yeah.
Bummer. Total bummer. Anyways. It isn't a bummer. We might get more Jon Moxley.
Oh, that'd be great.
In New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Correct. He did an interview.
He's been an absolute blast.
Yeah, man. The burgeoning mentor-protege relationship between himself and Shooter. Something else, man. It's great.
Jon Moxley will be winner of G1 29. There you have it. Real panty drop, Rainey.
Mox spoke to Nikan Sports about his future in New Japan. So what he said, quote, fortunately, there is no problem in fighting in New Japan while belonging to an American organization, AEW, in the future. I can always show up in Japan and wrestle. Naturally, I want to do it at Tokyo Dome. If you win the G1, you can fight in the main event of Tokyo Dome. He's had a bit of a major speed bump following his count-out loss to Yano.
Yeah.
He hasn't won a match since.
No, he hasn't. He lost to Goto.
He lost to Jay White.
And lost to Jay White.
And then he just lost again.
Has he taken on
Juice? Sorry. No, that's three. No,
okay.
Sorry. That's right.
So right now it looks like it's either going to be in the A block. It's going to be either Okada or Ibushi.
Correct.
If I'm correct. Do they have a match that is
yes,
like
that's the last match
and that's going to determine it. If it goes to a draw Or Okada wins. Okada moves to the finals.
Correct.
If Ibushi wins, obviously
he moves to the finals. In B block, there's kind of a log jam.
The math is just off the hook.
There's like 4 or 5 people tied for more or less the same record.
Yeah, I kind of get. I'm speculating that it's going to be Naito.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that he's going to. Well, I'll back to
it's Naito, Mox.
If Okada,
Jay White is another one.
If Okada advances, it's not going to be Naito, because I think if Okada advances, it's either going to be Jay White or Mox. Because obviously he and Jay White, Okada and Jay White have a bunch of backstory they've had.
Yeah, but that
and then
seems
Okada
so final,
Okada and Mox dream match. I can understand why they want to have that. If Ibushi advances, it's definitely Naito. It's 100% going to be Naito. That's been like the prime story in New Japan all year, ongoing. That's my take.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. And then one last thing here. Congratulations. I wore my shirt today.
Yes.
Ring of Honor, they need some quality building blocks.
Yep, they just found themselves
They
one.
need some good foundation for their rebuilding phase.
Yep.
Because, man, they're hurting. But Joe Hendry is here to save the day. I think I love Joe Hendry. I think
he's great.
He's fantastic.
His announcement video was fantastic.
Oh, it was amazing.
Working out with a button-up shirt.
Yeah.
It was great.
Who doesn't want to do that? So congratulations to Joe Hendry. And I'll be honest. To be honest with you, congratulations to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, really.
This guy, as illustrated in his video, he literally could have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
I imagine that he was offered a main event level slot in the WWE.
Yeah, huge money deals.
No.
He
didn't
said
do
no.
it.
He said,
Probably offered a big primetime slot at the Tokyo Dome, New Japan.
Yeah.
No. He's going to Ring of Honor.
Said, no, I want to go to Ring of Honor.
The most prestigious,
He said, where the most
historically.
prestigious belts are held. And
he's
Ring
the
of
most
Honor.
prestigious one.
He's prestigious. He is the prestigious
He's
one.
the
not
prestigious
the
one.
most. He is the prestigious
There's only one prestigious one.
And it is Joe Hendry.
That's correct. So that's awesome.
It is fantastic.
Congratulations to Ring of Honor for landing the prestigious one.
Prestigious one, Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Let's talk. Let's answer some questions.
Yeah,
Would you like to look at the questions, Mr. Lee?
Let's do it. What do we got there?
Oh, let's see here. I'm on Discord because I love Discord. Jimmy Thomas, thoughts on Lucha Underground being free to watch on Tubi TV?
I don't even know what Tubi is, but that's cool.
What is that a Roku channel?
Is it on Pluto TV?
Is that like Robert Rodriguez's own personal
His streaming
channel?
platform?
Is that his streaming? Is that his Twitch channel? What is that? That's cool. One day when I don't have a million other things to do, maybe I'll check out some Lucha Underground.
There you go.
Hefty. Looks like I'm gonna have to get cable back or try a streaming service. There's too much good shit on TV this fall.
That's true. And we didn't mention this also. Billy Corgan announced that come October, NWA is going to have some sort of TV product, maybe.
Yeah, he's gonna have his own internet show for NWA.
That's cool.
So that's good for him, man.
Yeah, man.
I like Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, some of their stuff's okay.
Twilight.
Tim Spulak. Would Fox stand up to Vince, and would only sponsors be able to change his mind? No. Any situation where money can be taken out of his pocket will force him to listen. Whether that's sponsors, which you see in the past, or networks, especially with Fox having the ability to cancel SmackDown Live if they wanted to. I doubt they would.
Yeah.
But the possibility exists.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Mr. Triple Mania points out that Ring of Honor's Summer Supercard is tonight.
Oh my gosh!
And he asked for predictions. Let's.
I don't even know what the card is.
Briscoes versus Gorillas of Destiny in there's another ladder
war. Briscoes are gonna win that one. I have a feeling that Tama Tonga's not that huge a fan of Ring of Honor.
Summer card of honor. Yeah, this is his summer card of obligation. Let's see here. Summer card, super card. Is that August 9th? Yeah, that's today. Yeah. Oh, man, I got to... By the way, birthday shout-out to
Toronto,
my niece, Talia.
Oh.
Happy birthday. She's 16. Terrifying. Let's see here. Oh, man, your favorite, Matt Taven versus Alex Shelley for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Yeah, Matt Taven's winning that one.
Yeah, I think he's going to win that one. Let's see here.
Kelly Klein taking on Tasha Steelz.
Tasha Steelz doesn't have a Wikipedia entry, so I'm going to go with Kelly Klein on that one.
We have a trios match.
Caristico Soberano Jr. and Stuka Jr. versus Bárbaro Cavernario, Hechicero y Templario. Well, one of these teams has a guy who doesn't have a Wikipedia entry, so I'm going to go with Team Caristico.
Agreed.
You're going to go with that too?
Yeah.
All right.
We already said Briscoes versus Guerrillas Destiny. Briscoes going to retain there.
I agree with that.
For the TV title, Shane Taylor versus Tracy Williams. Shane Taylor's going to retain that one.
I don't know much of either of these guys.
I think Tracy Williams is in Lifeblood.
Oh. All right. Well, hey, you know what? We'll split on that one.
All right.
I'll say Tracy Williams. Loser brings donuts on Monday.
All right. It's all riding on this one.
Roosh versus Dalton Castle in a no DQ match. So I don't know much about this feud, but I know that Roosh squashed Dalton Castle.
Yes.
Don't you think Dalton Castle picks up a win here and then maybe they do another match?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to go with Dalton Castle.
No, Roosh.
Wow. Dalton Castle's getting the big burial, man?
Yeah, man. They have high hopes for Roosh.
When you say high hopes, it means just re-signing him?
Yeah. Next, Lifeblood taking on or Bandito and Mark Haskins members, Lifeblood. Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham in a tag team match.
How does Lifeblood not have a Wikipedia entry?
I don't know, man. They're a pretty new stable. Going with Lifeblood in that one.
I don't know anything about this feud.
I know. I don't either.
I'll go with Jonathan Gresham's pretty hot though.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in Bola this year.
It's true.
I'm gonna go with him and Jay Lethal. How are you going against Jay Lethal? I thought he's like one of your favorites.
I like Jay Lethal. Next, Villain Enterprises members PCO and Brody King taking on the Kingdom. TKO Ryan and Vinny Marseglia.
I would never bet on the Kingdom. So
No.
I'll go with besides Matt Taven. I'm going to go with Villain Enterprises.
Yeah, I'm going with
here.
PCO and Brody. And
they're
finally, the Darewolf, PJ Black, taking on Silas Young.
You like saying the Darewolf.
Yeah, man. That's a good nickname.
PJ Black looks amazing. He looks like a time traveler.
Yeah, he does, man.
He looks really
He's
cool.
like, he looks like he could be Dr. Wagner Jr.'s younger brother.
He does. He really does. But I feel like, aren't they pushing Silas Young? Aren't they like continually pushing Silas Young? I'm going to go with Silas Young in this one.
I don't think Silas Young has ever really
Who's that
been
weird
pushed.
looking dude?
Rhett Titus. I would say you need to be more specific, but then I knew who you're talking about.
Where is he on this card?
Not on it.
Dude, where are all those people from the Honor Rumble?
Not on it.
Where are they?
Rhett Titus must be in ROH developmental still.
Since like 2004?
Jose Alaguna has a question here. Do you think Vince is having to rewrite SmackDown because Bischoff is putting too many motorcycle gang segments?
Yeah.
That's a good kayfabe.
I could see that.
Brandon Uteris, thank you. Miguel Martinez asked, do you guys think I've ruined my little brother's childhood? Now he knows about the backstage process, shoot scripted, and even listens to Dave.
No, man, you're smarting him up on the business.
Yep, man.
That's what you want to do. You want to be smartened up on the business.
Yep.
One of my favorite stories is always that Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't understand that wrestling was fake until his very first match.
I know.
The first match.
Sound like Hogan was the same way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he says that in the podcast. Like, I mean, it's Hogan, so who knows?
Yeah.
But he said, yeah, like going out to his first match, he didn't know it was scripted.
That's hilarious. Booker T said that he knew when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
He was like, I was watching when I was a little kid. I knew, and he, of course, obviously doesn't want to say the F word. He's like, I knew, when it comes to wrestling, I didn't believe in the Easter Bunny. I didn't believe in Santa Claus, Steve.
That's funny.
Oh, man, that is such a good listen, Stone Cold and Booker T.
I know, I gotta check that
because
out.
the cool thing is they're just backstage at Raw Reunion.
That's cool.
So it's not like over Skype or anything.
Yeah. They're in the same room together. That's
They
cool.
spend like the first 30 minutes talking about boxing, which I could care less about. But after that, it's really, really good. Of course,
cool.
Austin doesn't mention that he didn't know until his first match. Let's see here. Mikey Omega asks, which are you most likely to try first? The Impossible Whopper or Impossible Carl's Jr. Burger?
For me, it'd be the Whopper. I'm not a huge Carl's Jr. guy.
I think Carl's Jr. is like the best fast food.
Never really been a Carl's Jr. guy.
It actually, because it's all like grilled. It's all like.
So is Burger King.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been to either place.
Yeah, I've been
in
out the place
God
for
knows
forever.
how long.
Forever.
But I would probably say, I think Lacey is more of a Carl's Jr. guy. So I'm going to say probably Carl's
Okay.
Jr. Is
I'll
that
say-
available everywhere right now?
I don't know.
I might
still
check
want to
that
try
out.
the Beyond Tacos from Del Taco. Jose Alaguna, what's the definitive song of the 90s?
Oh, man. Like the first song that popped in my head was Return to the Mac.
That's a good one.
But I'm not sure if that's the definitive 90s song. Isn't the Macarena? Isn't that the definitive 90s song? Isn't Mbop the definitive 90s song?
No, I'm trying to think of something that covers a lot of
It smells
bases.
like Teen Spirit.
That was my first thought, but I kind of feel like the definitive 90s song, something that might encapsulate the 90s more than anything else, is something new metal.
No, get out of here. New metal, I think
Because
it was like
let me-
a 2000 and post band.
Let me because this is my thought. Because
metal.
the 90s is when hip hop really got into the mainstream, and really started influencing rock music as well.
Okay.
So not that I'm a huge new metal guy. I'm not. New metal is what sprung forth post grunge. It had the hip hop influence to it.
Oh,
it's a
crap.
very 90s
It's going to be
genre.
like a Linkin Park song.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, their stuff wasn't terrible.
Or Limp Bizkit or something like that.
Well, you're gonna go with Linkin. Linkin Park is actually decent. I'll say this. I'll say two. For me, my answer. There's two songs because you're absolutely right. It was grunge and hip hop. I'm gonna say Nothing But a G Thing, and I'm gonna say
That's a good answer.
And I'm gonna say Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, those are good answers.
Those
You
are
want
the
separate
two
songs, then yes.
Yeah, but no, I feel that was actually a pretty good explanation right there. It's probably a Linkin Park song.
Might
You
not
never
be
say
Linkin
it's a-
Park. I think Linkin Park was more early odds. It probably more like Korn or Limp Bizkit or something like that.
Yeah, Freak on a Leash. Nah, Nothing But a G Thing and It Smells Like Teen Spirit. Those are the two ones. Nothing But a G Thing was revolutionary.
It's a really good song.
Oh my God, that was a revolutionary song. Let's see here. Relic says, so many SummerSlam matches seem predictable. Which upset would shock you more?
Shock the system.
Natalia over Becky or Ziggler over Goldberg? What would shock you more?
Probably Natalia over Becky.
That would shock you. Ziggler over Goldberg would shock the crap out of me. And I think it's actually possible it could happen, but it would still shock.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's possible. It could, as highly unlikely as it is. I think it's still possible it can happen. In no universe do I see Natalia ever beating Becky Lynch for the title of SummerSlam.
See, I could if Ronda got involved or somebody got involved or something like that happened. I could see it. If Goldberg coming off of that Saudi show where he damn near killed himself and Undertaker,
Yeah.
coming off of that show and then coming in and eating a super kick and losing, that would be shock of the
It'd be something
century.
else. Jeffrey Nguyen says 90s song is All Star by Smash Mouth. The definitive song of the 90s.
Oh man!
Hey now.
Oh, actually,
You're an all-star.
Eli Bands here in chat brings up a good one. Ice Cube's. He says Friday, but I'm going to say
It was a good
it
day.
was a good day.
It's a good song.
Oh man, iconic. Boy, that's a good song. Let's see here. That's like one of. I don't know if there's that many. Well, there probably are. I was gonna say I'm not sure if there's that many songs
There's
that,
no
I, that I
reason-
know the lyrics to without even having to hear the song.
Yeah. For me,
at
it's like
all.
Humpty Dance. I know there's that.
For me, yeah.
And then like some other songs, but as far as like hip hop stuff, there's a couple of Public Enemy songs. I probably know everything. Here's the thing about grunge too. While it reached the mainstream in the '90s, its roots go back way to the mid '80s.
Oh well, yeah, sure.
Whereas new metal is a very specific thing that its roots go back further, but the birth of the genre is squarely in the 90s, and it reached its peak probably in the late 90s.
Yeah, but come on. Yeah, okay. Like Soundgarden's first album dropped in like '89, I think.
Oh, it was way before that.
Was it 80? Was it as early? It wasn't as early as 80. I think they formed in '86.
It's maybe 87. I think 87 was their first album.
Was their actual first
I
album?
think so.
Let's see here.
Because
let's see here. They signed to A&M in '89, so they were.
but they had a couple albums
part
with
of
Sub Pop before that.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. No, it was '88, so yeah, it was close. Ultra Mega OK was '88.
But like Nirvana, like Bleach came out in the late 80s. Of course, members of Pearl Jam
What year
were
did Bleach come out?
Nevermind was 91, so I want to say 89 was Bleach.
Oh yeah, June of '89. Look at that. Yeah. Okay.
And then, of course, members of Pearl Jam before that were in Green River. Mm-hmm. That was mid-late 80s. And then after that, Mother Love Bone.
Yeah, I was never a fan. That poor dude who died, I feel bad, but I was not a fan of his vocals.
Never really got into their stuff that much.
No, not really.
So
let's see here. Lord Ziffer, what would have the bigger impact on Riddle's career, Matt Riddle's career?
Matt Riddle.
Riddle costing Brock his match at SummerSlam, Or Riddle. Oh, this is easy. Or Riddle costing Goldberg his match at SummerSlam. It'd be Brock. It's a much bigger thing. But funnier would be By the way, if they have Riddle in there for watch along, that's probably the biggest prop bet for us.
Yeah.
Will Riddle be on watch along
for the Goldberg
during
match?
the Goldberg match?
I hope so.
But will he? Would they put him in that room?
Yeah, they got to. That's
the
whole reason he's on the show.
At that point, can we just stop watching the show? Can we watch along? Can we watch Matt Riddle co-stream the Goldberg match?
Maybe. Dominic LaMartina, Triple H said on yesterday's conference call that an announcement on the next Mae Young Classic was forthcoming.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Power rank your top 5 indie picks to be in this year's tournament.
Oh, man.
All Elite signed a lot of them.
So I know that she's been in UK for a second, but Millie McKenzie
that'd be great.
is a treasure.
Yeah, she's an absolute joy to watch.
She's a treasure.
Like I would one thing we haven't talked about is All Elite. They announced that the buy-in battle royal for All Out is going to be for one of the spots in the Women's Championship match. They announced that Roddy Piper's daughter Teal
Piper,
is in it. Eva Lise from Lucha Underground's in it.
That's pretty cool.
Jazz,
that's pretty cool.
Which is awesome. Is in it.
From injury, yeah.
So there's just everybody's getting signed.
Man, I don't know. I saw like a ton of amazing female performers at the Eve show that I went to. That, man, I would love to see them. Any of them.
Yeah.
They were all great. That first match, man, I forget who it even was. I know Waymaker might know. That first match was off the hook.
It's cool.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Let's see here. Who's this? Sir Joe Flex. Have either of you played any tabletop RPGs?
I played Dungeons and Dragons once or a couple times.
Really?
My brother and his friends 25, 30 years ago.
Do you...
No longer, probably 32 years ago.
I've never even tried to play one of those games. It felt like there was a lot of reading and milling about along.
Well, none of them were dungeon masters by any stretch of the imagination. My brother's friends. It was like literally, okay, let's give this a try.
Oh, okay.
So it was as surface level as can be.
Yeah.
It was like you name your character and decide what type of character it's going to be and stuff, and then like go on the first dungeon thing.
It's like universe mode, huh? Let's see here. Anthony Mattis. Why no tag matches on SummerSlam this year?
One's got to be announced.
Yeah, Meltzer didn't really say much about the whole
he
tag
did say,
situation.
he didn't say anything specific about that, but he said it's seemingly like the card is still really in flux.
Yeah. When is it not going to be in flux?
Always.
As it happens. Once it's committed to the history books.
Yeah, pretty much. Once the show is over, then it's no longer in flux.
Oh, wow. This is a great question. Stuart Lee says, I've been getting into silent films big time lately.
Oh, cool.
Man, you know what I was watching the other day?
What's that?
Metropolis.
Oh, yeah?
Holy crap. That was the next level freaking movie, man.
Yeah, it was great.
All sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, man.
He said, if the talkies went away and the silence had a resurgence. This is a great question.
It is a great question.
Stuart's the best. What wrestlers would shine brightest in silent cinema?
Oof. What, wrestlers?
I mean, Big E emotes better than anybody.
Yeah.
That dude wears his emotions full body.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to go with Big E for like my number one.
How can you not
Zach
go with...
Gibson, speaking of which, looks like a silent film villain.
How can you not go with Aiden English?
Of course, obviously. Bobby Fish. He also looks like... Now I'm just thinking of guys who look old-timey.
Yes, totally.
It's kind of not really the point of the question, but...
But it fits.
Jamie Salem. Who do you want to see full-time on 205? What does that mean?
Who do you want to see full-time?
I don't know. I actually don't. Now that I read that question, I don't really know what it means. Who do you want to see full-time on 205? Maybe. How about this? Let's take everybody who's not on 205. Who do you want to see in 205? Who on the main roster would you want to see go down at 205?
Sin Cara.
Is he still injured? Is he good?
Yeah, I think he's healthy.
How big is Andrade? See him go in there and just wreck everybody.
Hell yeah, man. That'd be
great.
great.
Wow. Greg Morris said, Steve, let me know if you want any but I can send you CZW DVDs I no longer have a use
cool.
for. Pff, heck yeah, man.
That'd be cool.
I'll check that out. I'll co-stream some of those.
Hell yeah, that'd be great.
I don't think I'm allowed to. Anyways, I think that's it for the show today, Larson.
Sounds good to me.
We're going to do an Ask Steven Larson after this, but it's not going to be live, so this is the last time you're going to see us. Until tomorrow, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.